So welcome everyone to Online Banking Overview. This is the first in a series of webinars to help you get the most out of the digital and mobile services St. Mary's Bank has to offer. I'm your host, Ian, from our St. Mary's Bank Marketing Department. Let me introduce today's experts, Jenna Seavey and Amy Morin. Jenna currently works as a training specialist and has worked at SMB for 6 years. Before joining the training team, she was a teller at the McGregor Street branch. Jenna has a degree in business and marketing education from Southern New Hampshire University. Amy is the training and development supervisor and has worked at St. Mary's Bank for 10 years. Amy has had experience in all of the retail roles, as she was previously a member contact center rep, an SSR, and teller. Amy's been in the banking industry for 15 years and has degrees in education and adult training. Jenna will be our main presenter today, guiding us through the demonstration. Amy will be on the Q&A pane, so if you have any questions, just type them in. And please, if you can, send to all panelists. That way they will come through to either myself or to Amy. And as we're going through, if you do have questions about a specific area, we can chat with Jenna and we can ask Jenna to show us that section. At this point, I'll welcome Jenna and Amy and pass the presentation over. Welcome, guys.
So my name is Jenna Seavey, and I am happy to be sharing this online banking overview with you this evening. We will go over some of the basics in online banking for those of you who are using it and not sure what some of the certain features can do, and also even the basics of registering for online banking. So our agenda for this evening is that we will navigate through the online banking portal, everything from the registration step to what you see when you get logged in. We'll discuss some of the customization options that you have to ensure that you're getting the best out of your online banking experience. We'll be sure to cover some scams and fraud prevention that we always like to provide our members, and we have this type of format. And end with any last-minute questions or answers that we can provide you about specific issues that you're having in your online banking. So let's get this started with registering. So for those of you who are already registered with online banking on stmarysbank.com, then you're familiar with this pop-up box in the top left corner where you would enter in your username and password. I would like to point out that there is a forgot password link in this box in case you are logging in after hours and forgot what your password is. You can set up an automatic reset for your password this way. But let's focus on those of you who do not have online banking. So what you're going to do is select Register for Online Banking. And there's just some information that you're going to need to get started. Now, we're focusing this training on those who are registering as individuals and not as a business, but the steps are going to be very similar, only those with the business information would have that. So the first thing you're going to need is your member number. This is a very important number here at St. Mary's Bank. This is what identifies your relationship with us. If you aren't sure what that number might be, please reach out to the Member Contact Center or visit your local branch for assistance. You'll also need to provide your Social Security number for confirmation, an email address, the one that we would have on file, as well as your zip code and date of birth. There is a process to the registration, and this is for your security and protection. So the first thing you're going to do is verify that you have an account here at St. Mary's and that you are the one who should be establishing your relationship with us. The next step is to create a strong username and password that is going to be specific to you. What we recommend here at St. Mary's is the use of a passphrase. An example like, I really wish I could win Powerball, pulling each of the letters out to create this password of IRWICWP with a number and a special character meets all the criteria for a strong password. It's very important that you never share your online banking username or password with anyone. Nobody from St. Mary's Bank will ever ask you for your password information, nor should you provide it to anyone else in your family either. Each person should have their own login credentials when accessing online banking. It's important that we have to authenticate that you are who you are trying to register for. So there will be a step where you have to confirm through a series of security questions, any sort of multi-factor authentication to make sure that if you are locked out of your online banking in the future, only you will be able to be the one to reset it. You'll next get an email confirming your contact information, and then you're ready to roll and start doing your online banking. So at this time, what I'm going to do is pop on over to a demo site of our St. Mary's Bank online banking portal. We've created an account with some information on it so that you guys can take a look at what type of different products and services and where they would be listed. Again, this is an account that we've made up, so we will not be using any real member information for this presentation. So when you log into your online banking, the first page that you are brought to is the dashboard. This is going to be your landing page and summary of all information. We like to consider this a snapshot of what your balances are. That being said, what I'd like to point out here is the available balance. So here we can see that the member has an available balance of $2,731, even though the balance in the account is $3,000. And we'll get into what that displays when we look at the checking account, but it's very important that you look at what your available balance is before you make any transfers or payments or go out and spend money that is perhaps not in your account yet. Another thing that's important is that we will sometimes launch messages at the top of the dashboard about known scams and fraud to be on the lookout, or perhaps updates coming to the browser and the page that you're using for online banking. So please be sure to check those out anytime you see the additional pop-up of a message at the front of your dashboard. All the accounts and loans that you are listed on will be displayed automatically in your online banking once you have confirmed your registration. Here we can see that it's categorized by what the member has. So for example, they have 2 savings products. So there is a combined balance of savings product types in this category. We can also see that they have a Visa credit card with us, where they're able to pop over and pay the loan from here, an auto loan with us, and a CD. On the right-hand side of the page, we have an area where you can link in external accounts. This is a great way for you to view transactions at other financial institutions, investments, or credit cards that you may have. This is not a way for you to transfer between those accounts, just really take a look into them. Underneath the external accounts, we have our recent activity. So you can see that our member has completed 4 transfers totaling $1,220 and logged in 21 times. We can also see upcoming transactions. So here's that $1,000 hold discrepancy in the member's available balance. We can see that they in fact have a check hold and the funds are not completely released and available to them yet. We also have an area where any budgets that you've created, and we'll get into that, will display so you can see where your progress is at in your savings goals. And some quick links to our St. Mary's Bank website that have important tools that you can use if you're looking to maybe open a new product or looking to buy a new car or check out our member discounts. These buttons on the left-hand side are called widgets, and these are the standard widgets that display when you log into online banking. We do have the ability to customize these, and I can show you how you can rearrange them and be sure that the ones you utilize the most display on your dashboard as well. So let's start in the Accounts tab or Accounts widget. So this is where we're going to get all the detailed information about our members' checking. And I do want to be sure to pay out some attention to the Share 20 number here. For those of you who visit us in branch, you may have noticed that on your receipt next to your checking or savings, there's a share ID number on there. So when we refer to your checking as a 20 or your savings as a 3, those are the numbers that we're referencing. So you can search directly through your transactions. There's also a filtering feature where you can search by date, category, transaction amount, the type of item, whether it was a credit or a debit, or even a specific check number. Notice we do still have that $1,000 check hold showing at the beginning as a pending transaction. It's a negative number because it is not yet posted to the balance. We're going to click on account details next, and this has some other important information for you. So what I'd like to point out is what we have as the MICR number. This is very important if you're going to be ordering checks, setting up a direct deposit, or making a payment to another financial institution. This is what identifies your specific checking in your account. So that's available in the Account tab under Account Details for each product. So the similar things are going to display under all of the additional deposit shares that you have, savings, money market. But what I would like to show you next is how a loan would display. So here we're going to navigate down to our members Chevy and Paula. And we're going to see that it's a little bit different here. There is a Pay Now feature where we could link over and make a payment to our auto loan. You can also see recent transaction history on your loan as far as payments and disbursements. If we click on the account details for the loan, we have some more great information here, like what your current interest rate is, how much you've paid year to date, and one of the best features is this calculate loan payoff amount. So you can select the day you're going to trade in your car and get a payoff date for that exact date. Next, we're going to go through the rest of the widgets that we have here. So we'll start with our transfers. And you'll notice that it immediately drops us into this Quick Transfer tab. Quick transfers are ideal for moving money from one share to another. So for example, we have our checking account that has a larger balance. We're going to take $20 and move it to our rainy day savings account and submit the transfer. This is a nice, quick, easy way to transfer. Once we navigate to the Classic tab under Transfers, you can see that we have more options here. This is where you can make transfer payments to loans that you have here at St. Mary's Bank. You can make transfers to other members, or link in your external accounts if you're looking to transfer money between St. Mary's and another financial institution. So here we have an example I'm going to do of making a loan payment from your Transfer tab. So again, we're just going to start with where the money is coming from. We're going to pick our checking, the destination, which will be our Chevy Impala, and the system knows that this is a loan. So it's automatically going to ask you how you want this loan paid. Do you want it to be a regular payment? Are you looking to apply additional principal? Are you looking to make a principal-only payment and not advance the due date of your loan? So you have these options when you go to the Classic tab under Transfers. You also have the ability to add a memo here, which is not an option under Quick Transfer. So here I'm going to submit my transfer. And you get this last chance recap screen to make sure you took the money out of the right share that you wanted it to go to. It's being applied to the proper loan as a regular payment, and I'm going to confirm my transfer. And you'll notice that when it returns me back to my transfer history, I'm able to scroll through the recent transfers that I have made. All right, so our next widget that we're going to go over is the eStatements tab. Now, if you are enrolled in eStatements, you're currently receiving them, then you'll notice that when you navigate to this tab in your online banking, it will say that you are subscribed. Now, our member that we've created is not subscribed, so I'll walk you through the steps of how you would initiate in eStatements to start receiving them electronically and avoid paying the $2 a month paper statement fee and having access to these at the tips of your fingers. So we're going to select the subscribe button. Read and agree to our terms and conditions of enrolling in eStatements. Then you would select I agree. You're going to open a PDF with a 5-digit character code that you'll then paste into the box below and subscribe. Now, because I'm in a simulation environment, this won't work on my site, but it will work for you when you're enrolling in eStatements. Once enrolled, you will have access to statements going forward. So we're now going to go to the Bill Pay widget in online banking. And Bill Pay is a great service that you can enroll in as a member at St. Mary's Bank. And what will happen is that you can enter in payee information for your bills or to make a one-time payment, and St. Mary's will mail the payment to the receiving party. So this can be a great way to help track your budget and monthly spending. Again, you would just read and agree to the terms and conditions and enroll in Bill Pay and start entering in your payee information. Now, some of these are a little bit more involved in the process, like setting up bill payments and organizing it. So what we are developing is an advanced class for the future with more online banking details aside from this basic overview. So I look forward to hosting that in the coming months so that I can help you dig even deeper into what we can offer in the digital channels. So next we're going to hit the More button, and it will display the rest of the widgets that we have available to us. So I'm going to go to Settings first. Notice I have made our St. Mary's Bank logo as my background picture. Now, personally, I have a great image of my dog, but you do have some customization there. You can also customize your background. So mine is customized to a beach setting because I am in summer vacation mode, but the default theme is the Manchester skyline, and I'll show you what that would look like right here. So have some fun with your themes and customization that you can do in your online banking. It's also very important that you verify your personal information here. This is our member's member ID for this training. It also has any recent login activity. And you should be making sure that you are the one responsible for these logins. If you see any at a time or a date that you know wasn't you, I ask that you see if you're logged into any additional third-party resources like QuickBooks or Mint, as they could be doing automatic updates at that time. If not, please reach out to our member contact center to ensure that there hasn't been a compromise to your online banking. Next, we're going to go to the Security tab. And this is where you can update and change any of the personal information that you have on file. You can also set saved devices. So if you're logging in on the same desktop PC every day, it's going to become a remembered device. You can customize your widgets from the settings and also go to your contact information. Here's where you can update any of your addresses or phone or email information. Now, if you'd like to receive text message alerts, it's important that you confirm your cell phone. So here our member has not been confirmed. So if we click on the edit or pencil icon, we can see that the steps to confirm this would be enter in the mobile number that you would like it to go to, and they send a confirmation text, which you then enter back into the website and confirm. So once you are set up with that, you can then enroll in your notifications. Some great notifications that I recommend for members would be a balance alert. So here you can set up a push notification that will come to you based off the delivery method that you choose when your balance goes below or above a certain limit. So if our pretend member here goes below $50, she's going to get an email alert telling her of this balance so that she has that warning ahead of time to transfer money in before she pays a bill or goes out. I also set a goes above balance because if she has more than $1,000 in her share, then it's a good indicator for her to transfer some of that money into perhaps a savings account that she's earning interest on those funds. So all you have to do to enroll in a new alert is to just click the gear icon, turn on the alert if it's not currently on, and then you can edit the alert settings. Always be sure that you save your changes when you're doing anything under the settings tab in your online banking. The accounts tab in settings is where you can do any sort of editing to the name of the accounts that you have here. So here we'll take our rainy day savings, for example. This is a great newer product that we offer that is a high interest savings account. So what I'm going to do is click on the pencil or edit icon, and I'm going to call this my vacation money. And I'm going to change the color to something fun and bright like yellow. And I'm going to make sure that I hit save. And now I have that fun goal that I'm saving towards, and I can easily figure out which savings I'm putting my money into when I'm making a transfer. Let's say you have an account that you don't want to see in your online banking. All of the shares that you are on will display automatically. If there's any that you don't see listed there, please contact our member contact center or visit a branch for assistance. So if I don't want to see my Beyond Statement savings, all I have to do is click the edit icon and then hide this account. Once I hit save, you'll notice that this little eye icon comes up. So now when I navigate back to my dashboard, the only savings share that I see is my fun vacation money. It's still there. I still can use it as an account. It just isn't going to be displaying in my dashboard. Now let's say that I want to view my savings again. All I have to do is hit the edit icon and then uncheck the box of hide this account and hit save. And now it will be displayed in my dashboard again. If you link in any external accounts from other financial institutions, those will be displayed here under your accounts tab. Very important to know that if you are linking in other accounts, you will have to confirm some micro deposits to ensure that you are the person who is initiating and establishing this additional account access. Shared access is the last tab that we'll go over in settings, and this is where you can actually add a user to one of the products or services that you have here. Let's say, for example, you have a spouse who's joined on your mortgage, and you would like them to be able to view the mortgage in their online banking or to log in and see the history. you can add them as a user and set them up to have their own registration to see this share. You could also do this if you have perhaps a minor child who's driving the car that you have the loan for, and you want them to be able to see when the payments are due and how they post, or to transfer into the account. I next want to show you the Budgets widget. And budgets are a great way for you to utilize our online banking software to be financially savvy. So if there are certain things that you are tracking your spending on, for me it's that daily Dunkin' Donuts coffee, I can set up so that every time a transaction comes into my share, I categorize it and it's tracking how much I've spent in expenses versus income on that particular item. So if I wanted to see how much I spend at Dunkin' Donuts every day, then I can set up my budget for that. And it's very easy to create a budget and then also do your maintenance here in the Budgets widget. What I have established for us is under this next widget of savings goals. So savings goals is a great way to let our online banking reward you and encourage you to meet those savings goals that you have. So you set a new goal with a certain dollar amount and a time frame of when you'd like to achieve that goal, and our system will track how far you are along in that goal. So I am pretty close, more than halfway to my weekend beach getaway here. Checking services is a widget that allows you to put a stop payment on a check item or to reorder checks that you've already ordered for your account. Now, hopefully that doesn't hold us up. Our member doesn't have real checks and real services. So I'm going to move along to the Message Center. Here we go. And the Message Center widget is a way for you to communicate with St. Mary's Bank. Now, this is not a live chat feature, which is something that you should be mindful of. However, you can send messages in through this channel that are secure. So let's say you want to look for a check copy, or maybe have a question about the status of an application that you've done. Or maybe you're traveling and you want to let somebody know that you're going to be out of town next week and you'd still like your debit card to work for you. So all you have to do is select your subject, which share it is in reference to. So for me, doing a debit card or travel notification, I would link it to my checking and let them know that I will be traveling. It's important that you include the date, so that way we are aware of any potential transactions that could be happening during that time, and you're less likely to be stranded and have your card shut off when you're out of town. So when you send this message, it goes into your sent folder, where you can look at your previous messages as well. And somebody from St. Mary's Bank in our member contact center will respond to you. We have a calculator and calendar feature as a widget in online banking, which helps you when you're doing your monthly budget or setting out your bill pay goals. For those of you who like to visit us at one of our brick and mortar locations, we have a location widget. Which is pulling in a great map for us. Now, as a reminder, I'm on a demo site here, so your online banking should be working significantly faster than my demo site for this example. So here we have, based off my location, where the other branches that I can go to are, and if I click on them, I can actually see what their branch hours are as well. So another great feature in your online banking. When you're logged into your mobile banking through our mobile banking app, you'll have the ability to make a deposit through remote deposit. So we'll be diving more into that in our advanced class. Cards Rewards is for members who have our St. Mary's Bank Visa Rewards credit card. They can view their rewards balance. They can do redeeming for gift cards or travel. If you do not have a St. Mary's Bank Visa with us, you also have a widget where you can apply for a new share or loan. So you can do all that through the online channel. You can determine if you want to close everything through a secured email portal, or you can even elect which branch you'd like to close your loan or new account with in person. Next, I'll show you the card management widget. So here we see that our member has 2 cards associated with their account. They're both debit cards. One is activated and one is not. So when you get your new card in the mail, you can come to this setup under card management and activate your new card. Let's take a look at somebody who has an existing card and the types of things that they can do under card management. So if you were traveling not to Florida, but in fact to Canada next weekend, and you wanted to enable foreign transactions for your debit card, you can go right to the gear icon in card management and say yes to enabling foreign transactions. Again, you always want to hit save if you're making any changes in your online banking. You even have the ability to block your card temporarily. Let's say you went out for the evening and forgot your card at home, or you know where it is, but you just can't get to it. You can temporarily block your card and then unblock it. You also have options if you have lost your card, it's been stolen, or it's damaged and no longer functional. So you can initiate all of these things within card management at any time, and it will generate a new card order for you. So we've gone through the majority of the widgets here. Now I just want to show you a little bit of the customization that you can do. So here I'm going to click on Widget Options. And anything with a star is going to be right under my dashboard here on the left-hand side. So I don't really use bill pay, so I'm going to remove that from my favorites. But I do like tracking my savings goals. So when I click the star icon, it's going to add that to my favorites, and now it's one of my widgets. Notice that Widget Options has brought us back to the settings where we can do any of our other customizations as well. So let's navigate back. So you've gotten a really great overview of what our desktop version of online banking looks like. So I'm hoping at this point you feel comfortable to dive right into our mobile banking app, which you can download through the Apple or Android store and start doing things remotely. This is a great way for you to be able to deposit items remotely. You can take a picture with your smartphone and it will post to your account. We also offer a snapshot feature where you can look quickly at your balances without logging in to all of the additional information needed through online banking. We also have a biometrics feature which uses your thumb or facial recognition software to ensure that the person accessing this personal information is in fact you. In conclusion, we hope that you are never sharing your online banking credentials or password with anybody. It's very important that whoever is accessing the online banking is the only person who should be accessing that. If you have any questions about somebody who's asked you to share that information, we recommend that you reach out to us through our member contact center or visit one of our branches. You can also review our fraud prevention webinar pre-recorded on our St. Mary's Bank website. We look forward to offering future webinars in this format and delivery, so you can also check your email for those. All right, so I'm not sure how many questions have come in at this point yet. So what I'd like to do is see if there is any questions that Amy would like us to dive into and explain while we have you guys on the phone here.
Hi, this is Amy. There weren't many questions, Jenna, but we do have a little bit of extra time, so if you wanted to go over maybe one other widget, I think the time would be allotted for that.
Certainly. How about we dive a little bit more into our accounts widget? I think that can be a very important step for people who are trying to get everything customized to their personal preference. And you let me know if any other questions come in or somebody would like to see an additional thing explained. So what I'm going to do
you mind
here.
going over, sorry, Jenna, do you mind going over shared access?
Certainly. So shared access is under your settings tab. And it's very important that when you do grant shared access, you are agreeing that the person will have access to view the account, view transactions, and potentially transfer into this. Notice we do not allow people to transfer out in shared access, but what you're doing is registering somebody as a new user. And let's say that Jenna here, who I'm adding to my loan, she is the one who actually drives the car that I have the loan for. So I want to give her all permissions for only just the Chevy Impala. So again, very important to hit save when you make any changes. And this is telling you that you acknowledge that when I grant access to Jenna, she's actually going to be getting an email with an invitation saying that Susan, our demo person here, would like to add you for online banking access at St. Mary's Bank. So it does have an expiration date, so you would just want to let the person that you are inviting know that, although you can cancel the invitation at any time. So what happens is that person will confirm this, and once it is sent in, then your additional user can be added. And then they can create their own login if they are not currently a member at St. Mary's Bank, or if they already have online banking linked to the email address that you added, then the Chevy Impala is going to automatically display for them under their Accounts tab as a shared account. Now, under the Accounts tab, I did just want to show you a little bit more of the customization here. So for me personally, I like to have everything color-coded in an order that is most important to me. So I'm going to reorder my accounts in a way that makes it beneficial. So maybe I am using this one more than the other. So all I have to do is hit reorder accounts, and I can change the order that they display. And then again, hit save anytime you make changes to your online banking. Maybe I want to make my Beyond Savings a nice fun color and give it a new nickname. So I'm going to put it yellow because that's my fun saving color. And let's call this College Savings. Not quite as fun as vacation, but still very important. Now, because I have my checking listed here as well, I want that maybe in a different color than savings. So I can hit this edit icon and change that to maybe a fun purple color. And I'm going to call this Susan's checking. And this can be beneficial if you do have multiple of the same share type. If you have multiple checking, one that you use for your debit card and maybe one that you pay your mortgage out of, that all of those things can be customized and organized in a way that best benefits you. All right. So if there's anything else that you guys would like to review, please send something in through the question chat screen, and we'll be sure to show you a detailed look at how to do that. All right. Well, it looks like we have reached the end of our training. I want to thank you all for joining us, and I'll pass it back to Ian.
Thank you so much, Jenna. I learned quite a bit there. That's excellent. Thank you, Amy, for managing the Q&A pane. And thank you all for joining us this evening. Just a reminder, we will be sending out a recording of this, and it'll be up on stmarysbank.com at some point next week if you want to catch up on anything. And stay tuned to look out for your monthly member connection emails. We'll be sending out updated dates for the advanced online banking training and mobile banking and the whole series we hope to be publishing later this summer. So on that note, I will bid you good night and thank you again for joining us. Bye now.